Going live.
Going live?
Oh, I did.
It says we're live. Can you hear us? Can you see us? Everything look okay?
Hello.
I mean, besides us. I meant the picture. Does the picture look okay? Does the audio sound okay?
Hair's all frizzy.
Yeah, my face is all glistening and greasy from
just the day.
Yeah, it's a little. It's humid here today. It's not too bad. It's been actually pretty nice because of the rain. We've had a lot of rain today. Howdy doodle do.
Meet again.
Is she doodle do, Joe, or am I doodle do?
Howdy
or is
doodle
it
do.
howdy doodle do? Is that just
howdy? It's a phrase.
So it's not FX-jetical. It's not a comma. Howdy comma doodle do. I guess they're just howdy doodle do.
It's howdy doodle do.
I think
that's what it is. How are you, vintage vibes?
She put the emoji with the she put the emoji with the hat on between the howdy and the doodle do. So that's why I thought it might have been howdy doodle do, like somebody. You're definitely both doodle doos.
Hey, Angel Eyes.
People aren't liking it because there's less now than there was. Now there's only 3 in here. 5 again. Oh, good. There's an ad, so I'm letting her on so you can get your dues. Thank you.
We replied.
It's interesting. I like that I like it when you tell me, Angel Eyes, what the advertisement is in there. You commented and told people not to purchase that thing that it was advertising. Is there somebody here?
No.
The dogs are barking. Plumber Homestead, Amber. I don't know if I've seen you before, Plumber Homestead. Where are you from? Angel Eyes is from Australia, and Vintage Vibes is in Canada. Nice to have you here. Hey, hello, the Max. How are you all? I don't know. Congratulations on the upcoming child. When is your baby due? And I think, am I remembering correctly? Are you having a baby boy? That's really cool. Very exciting for you. It was 104 Vintage Vibes. Crazy. Man. I think it felt like 104 the other day here, but it's been pretty cool. Actually, I closed the windows this morning. I got up early because I had church. I had church in. Was that you, Plumber? Oh, I thought it was Quebec Homestead or somebody else. Maybe you've got a different name here. Late December and not sure on gender yet. Okay, well, that's very exciting.
That is very exciting.
Yeah, it is. But it was so cool this morning. I got up early to finish my video because we had church today, and I had to close the window, and it was raining, and some rain was blowing in and all that, but don't have an irrigation system, so been dying outside watering. We don't have an irrigation system either, but
Mother Nature rains.
I've not done I've had so many things going on, so many projects, plus YouTube and some other things that are going on. We're still doing our home repair and remodel. I'm really slow on that, but I've kind of let a lot of my garden go in some ways, and weeds have overtaken it. I want to do something different next year, but I'm learning. I've learned a lot more this year than I have in previous years. Loving your shorts tonight. I'm not wearing shorts. I'm wearing my dungarees, even though they're not dungarees, I guess. We don't call them dungarees here. You called them. You asked me last week how many pair of dungarees I call them my overalls. I want to do a video on why I wear overalls sometime, because Maya asked me why I wear overalls all the time.
I just wear shorts. It's easier. I've been cleaning, and actually today was a really lazy day. I worked yesterday, then we had church, and we watched
Trolls 2 World Tour.
Yeah.
The kids wanted to watch it when it was out, but when it first came out during the beginning of the quarantine, but it was like $20 for the rental, and it's went down. So anyway, we watched that tonight. The kids really like that, but we didn't do a whole lot because it was all wet and soggy outside. Took care of our trash. We still produce a little bit more trash than I'd like to ultimately, but I took care of that today. And then what else did I do today? I cooked supper, grilled some hamburgers, shirts. Oh, shirts. Okay. I thought you asked the same time.
Oh, I wasn't trying.
Shorts.
Hi.
Dungarees, definitely dungarees. I like dungarees, except Americans are kind of lazy in their speech. So we go for, shorter terms. So we have, instead of blue jeans, we have just jeans. Yeah, we don't say blue jeans, and we don't say dungarees. We don't say denims, and we just say jeans. They're jeans, But
Well, I'm kind of anxious tonight. I have an interview tomorrow. I'm thinking about switching jobs, and so I'm kind of nervous about it.
You bounced the camera.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bounce the camera. My foot itches.
Are you all still here, Misty and Colby, the Max? I think you are a nurse, aren't you, Misty? Rue is an RN. Overalls are what I wore. Those are coveralls, aren't they? So coveralls is what you wear at the garage, I thought. Overalls are the ones with the straps like this. You have to have on another shirt and stuff underneath it. But anyway, so Rua was interested in trying out for a different job. I say trying out. That's not really.
It is kind of trying out.
Usually when you try out, it's kind of a preaching thing. You go somewhere and try it out. You test it out, kind of thing. You're just interviewing. Anyway,
but I get to do it from the comfort of my own home tomorrow.
That's tomorrow. So the place where she works is like 30-40 minutes away. So that's actually convenient if you ask me, because that means that she doesn't have to go like 40 minutes there and 40 minutes back. That's 80 minutes that she saved, so just get dressed and go. Just pretend you're talking with us and you'll do fine in your interview. I tell her, that she already has a job, so she doesn't need this job. So really she doesn't have anything to lose. That's for you. Will it still be in hospital, or are you thinking of the career change?
It'll be like maybe outpatient stuff.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about doing hospice or something like that.
So it's a hospice job. So she wouldn't be. There's inpatient hospice. That means that the people who are,
So it'd be out of the hospital.
And then there's outpatient. So I mean, she might have to. It's like home health in some ways, I suppose.
Except with more dead.
Not dead. You don't deal with dead people. Dying
people. Sorry.
Yeah. So, but it'll be a lot different than what she's doing now. And right now she works 3 days a week for 12-hour shifts, and this would be 4 days a week, 8-hour shifts. But we'll see. We'll see what it works. I've told her, to write down all her questions and ask them everything, that in one way to look at it as though she's interviewing them. And I think that's a way to, look at it.
We all die.
Everybody dies.
Hopefully not tonight, though.
It's a circle of life, It
is a circle of life.
Right. If you're interested in Lion King. But ever different than what you were doing? Even different? Hey. Yeah, it's different, because, where she's in the hospital and dealing with inpatient people versus out of the hospital. But she's never done this before. She's worked on a couple of different floors, different departments in the hospital, both inpatient. But this will be the first time.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah, Simba.
I got it. I knew what you meant. I figure.
How are you, Robert? Tiny Home Deals and Deb. Glad you're here tonight. Everything's going really well here. How are things going in Florida for both of you? Is it hot down there? Does it rain pretty much every day where you all are, Deb and Robert?
I would have to live in Florida.
Well, we had some friends in California who moved from Florida around what was the name? What's the name of the town?
Gainesville.
Gainesville, yes. It was in Gainesville they lived. And when they moved to California, it hardly ever rained where we were in California during the summer. In the winter, it would rain some. But it hardly ever rained, and they missed the rain. And I remember visiting Jacksonville, California a lot. We had some friends who lived down there whenever I was a kid. And it seemed like it rained just for a few minutes every single day. It rained just about every afternoon. That's so cool.
I like that.
Clockwork 1:30 cool. Every day. That's really cool.
I think I saw something on TikTok where it was like it rained and it was like this huge rainfall and then it quit. But anyway,
Was that in Florida? Yeah.
Yeah. And then
That's
I
really
remember
cool.
going to North Captiva Island with I guess she was my friend back then. And it was really pretty and it rained every afternoon.
Yeah.
I loved it.
That's really cool. Everybody can hear us okay. Everything sounds all right. Sometimes we get talking to ourselves and whisper.
Can't help it.
Did y'all see the sunflower in the thumbnail? I took that probably about an hour and a half before the live stream. I went out there and took it.
Is that all the way?
No, that's not exactly where we took that last video. The last video of the sunflowers is a bit further away. Where the pigs were once, there was a couple areas. I've mowed the rest of it because we're getting ready to do a project over here. And I'm moving the rabbits back and forth, in the little tractor. But there's one spot, there's a couple of sunflowers, and I just mowed around them until they do their thing. So.
Yeah, Deb, I was thinking about trying out for a different position, like outpatient hospice. And so just maybe a little something different.
So her interview is tomorrow afternoon at about 1:30 Central Time. So if you pray, then you can mention it.
I'm gonna do it
if you think God cares about that kind of thing. And maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about your theology there, but and if you don't pray, then send some positive vibes this way. But
I'll take positive vibes.
Yeah. So, but that's tomorrow, and she don't have to move from this job. She's still got this job.
I was just thinking of trying something different. Yeah. Maybe something just I don't know.
I think
a better environment.
I think it would be a good fit for her, really, in a lot of ways, but outpatient office, okay, that might be a nice change for you. Were you an RN, Deb? You worked in a family practice doing registration, or was that just like a administration job, kind of thing?
This would be just going in like hospice, going into people's homes, like in the area.
But from what she's been told by others, there's a lot of paperwork and stuff like that involved in it. Maybe more than what she's doing now. You're not medical. Yeah, clerical. Okay, that's good. God bless you. Yeah, it's that clerical stuff is kind of difficult and takes a special person to do that too sometimes. But anyway, we've been doing all sorts of stuff. I said that things are really blossoming on the farm, and hadn't really talked to Rua too much about this. And we're both impatient. There's a lot of things that we want to get done. You look behind us and you see our kitchen still isn't done. We want to redo our flooring here, and there's some other things. I've got to put some trim around the window right here. I got that window in, and I put that galvanized metal up. But I still got to put some trim around that, and there's some other things that I've got to do in here. But we want to replace the flooring, so we've got a lot of things to do still. But I feel like some things are really coming together. We've got a couple of big projects that are going to happen in the next few months. Did we get that pool in yet? No, we didn't get the pool in just yet. You think we should tell them since they're the live people?
Yeah.
So the video when we were clearing the land is going to be a high tunnel. We're getting a high tunnel that's going to go there, and that's really exciting. I'll have more details about that coming up soon, but that's going to be a high tunnel.
We're excited about the high tunnel, like the big greenhouse high tunnel.
Yeah. And then the other thing that we're going to do where I was moving the pigs, and I might do another video about that soon. I didn't really do a whole lot of footage today, so I've got some other footage from getting the pigs ready. I may do that tomorrow. I may not. I don't know for sure yet. But I was moving the pigs because there in some of that area, we're going to put a swimming pond, a kind of a natural pool farm swimming pond kind of thing.
Like it's a natural pool.
It's not really a natural pool. It's
you can swim in.
But people use the swimming ponds all the time, and I talked to some people about, called on the phones, people about natural pools, and they said that it sounds like what we needed was a swimming pond, just a farm swimming pond.
Not very natural. Natural pools aren't very natural.
Yeah, they still require all sorts of chemicals and things like that. So there's a couple old codgers that.
There's a couple of older gentlemen
Yeah. Anyway, their names are Michael, who came by and look.
Mike and Michael.
Yeah, Michael and Michael. Anyway, and the older one, I think he's in his 70s. He said he retired a few years ago, but he started working for this other guy who's, I think in his late 60s. If you're that old, I wasn't calling you a codger, So
You can't really say stuff like that.
I can say what I want to. Anyway, the older guy in the 70s said that, I've dug these many, many times. I've dug them all my life, and you can swim in them. There's no problem whatsoever at all. So,
and then we just have to dump something once a year in it.
Well,
you don't have to, but
it's some kind of copper sulfate or something like that. I forget what it is. It's just some, but you don't even have to do that, but that'll make it a little clearer and stuff like that. So we've been trained, we've been taught that pools have to be super clear and, all that stuff. And, people used to swim in ponds and creeks and all that stuff all the time. We're going to have a pond dug, and we're going to have a high tunnel done. Those are both things that we've wanted to do, for a while now since we've been here, and we had on our long-term list. So we had a greenhouse, which a high tunnel and greenhouse are a bit different. High tunnel is something that doesn't require heat in it. You can put heat in it. Papa keeps talking about us, having some kind of heat in it, but greenhouse requires heat, where a high tunnel doesn't. And, so it's a high tunnel. We wanted something like that. And we wanted a, kind of a natural pool, swimming pond, something like that.
It's like a greenhouse.
Yeah. So it's like a greenhouse, but it's not a greenhouse. There's some videos about the difference between a high tunnel and a greenhouse, but that's just one of the main things. Most of the heat from a high tunnel comes from passive solar. So it just comes through there and it heats it, kind of thing, where a greenhouse doesn't.
Is there a risk of parasites in the pool and pond pool?
Yeah, there are risks, I suppose, but it's...
So it's probably in a pool and then the lake and wherever else.
Yeah, but people swim in the lake and all that stuff. Yeah, if you swim in natural bodies of water, there's always those kind of risks. But hey, Little Feet Farm and Homestead, glad you're here tonight. We're just talking about things that are going on the farm, and we don't really have a whole lot of news, and don't have a lot of questions from you all. But I said that we're going to do this every Sunday night, and here we are doing it. Do you like things like this? I guess you kind of do because you're here. But I guess the people who don't like it are the people who aren't here. We want to share with you, and this is a great place because we are reading the comments. As of now, if we grow a lot and there ends up being 100 or hundreds of people in here, and it might be a little harder to do that, but right now I'm reading every single thing that comes through here. So here is the camera, and just over here is the all the dialogue that you all are writing. A week is a long time for what?
A week is a long time to go, like.
Oh, between
sessions here.
Yeah, but you like that, the flower? Oh, you mean the video today? What was it about mimosa trees? Yeah, those are pretty, aren't they? They're almost like a flower from the Dr. Seuss book. I don't know if I made it super clear, but those trees are also called happy trees. I was just telling Rue about it before, and you can take the flowers. That's the first one I heard when I was reading and studying about it to present the video to you. You can take the flowers and you can steep it in some hot water and make a tea out of it. And it's supposed to be an antidepressant, but you can also do the bark and you can do the root. And it's like an antidepressant. So it's kind of, I wish Third Eye Open was here because she's really into, homeopathy and stuff like that.
Yeah, the jaw. Yeah, this is just I want to ask him questions. It may not be any better than the job I'm at now. And so if it's more hours, then I don't want to do it.
Well, we're not hurting financially at all. We're very, very blessed. But we are on one income. I get a little bit, Rue is the, income is the main income, but we've done a lot of savings in the past. and I get a little bit of support for my part-time preaching that I do. And one of the things I was doing with the YouTube channel is I'm documenting it for ourselves and providing things for you all. But one of the goals, if I'm completely honest, is for I can't say it again. Yeah, one of the goals, if I'm completely honest, is to get an income from it. But I know that takes a long time. But the difference between people who succeed on YouTube and the people who don't succeed on YouTube, and several of you in here might YouTube as well, share things like that as well. The difference is just consistency. People who continue to do it and people who try to get better. I feel like that's what we're trying to do. I'm doing most of the YouTube. Rua is definitely a big part of it, big supporter of it. But
I'm not editing. I'm not an editor.
Yeah.
I know. I think it would be cool to do the. I know we're like homesteaders and stuff, but people really do well with those cleaning, like watch you clean junk.
Yeah, clean with me.
Yeah, clean with me. And so I'm like, I need to be a clean with me YouTuber. Anyway.
Micro Farmer, how are you tonight? Glad you're here. So those things are coming together. You like Rua's hair? Chris? Well, we just bought some chicken breasts, and we want to grow our own food. That's very, very important to us and something that we want to do. But we're not there yet on everything. And also, you can't grow it yourself, like raise chickens and stuff like that for as cheap as you can buy it. So we got it for, what was it, 89 cents a pound or something like that. I forget exactly. For chicken breasts, boneless, skinless chicken breasts. And Nana said that she wanted a can. We bought, Nana and Papa bought 40 pounds of it, and we bought 40 pounds of it. I was going to freeze extra what we weren't going to use soon. And she said she was thinking about canning some of that. So I thought about asking her if she wanted to just video some of that. So Papa was going to get the canning stuff out and, get all that stuff together. But you'd like to see that? Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was a deal. So you got about 40 pounds and it was frozen. I thought it was going to be fresh. We bought it from this butcher before, and 40 pounds, it was fresh. It wasn't frozen. But Nana and Papa went to town and got it and brought it back, and it was frozen solid. So it's in the refrigerator now thawing, so we can do that. Have you dehydrated? Have you dehydrated meat before? I guess you really need to cook it first, don't you? I don't know. Show that two love clips on how to store food. Okay, if I'll talk to Nana, and whenever she's going to do it, then we'll do some videos about that. At least one. It's not stuff we raised ourselves, and I think that's one of the things. I know I've said this before, but that's one of the things about homesteading and stuff. You've got to do take it in a process and do what you can do, kind of thing. So it's just do a little bit at a time. And we've been here 3.5 years, a little bit over 3.5 years. In November, it'll be 4 years. We left California on November 13th and pulled in the morning of November 16th. We drove across country with Rua and I and some of our things. We had some of it shipped beforehand, and 4 children, one of whom was being breastfed at the time, and 2 little dogs. We didn't have Toby then. We had a miniature schnauzer and our other dog. But we came back. It'll be 4 years in November. Yeah, I think you need to cook it first most of the time, and then you dehydrate it. But you can freeze dry things that are raw, I think, and then you have to cook it still afterward. But how are you doing, DeBrick83? Glad you're here. You made butter tonight? That's very cool. I watched a video that Off Grid with Doug and Stacy did about making ghee. And I bought some butter. You use unsalted butter. I think they use butter. They make they do it their own farm and make ghee out of it. It's shelf stable. And I was gonna make some ghee, but I didn't end up doing that.
What did I miss in the exciting world of live
Little Feet
streams?
Farm and Homestead made butter tonight, and now they're dehydrating hot peppers. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, and Angel Eyes and others asked if Nana and Papa, can some chicken breasts that they want to see it. So we'll do that. You can get canners here if you do find one. They are so expensive. I think Nana and Papa, they canned some when I was a kid. So it's been, years and years ago. They didn't really involve us in the process. If you ask Nana and Papa about that, they'll say that we weren't interested. And I'd say the same thing about our kids, that they aren't very interested now either.
Good to see y'all, wild folks.
Wild folks. McGee said that mimosa that I did the video about today, and I heard others say it too, that they really smell very, very well.
That creeped out. That video. That video messed
there
up, and I was stuck there, and I looked, and I didn't move, and I got creeped out.
Does everything still look okay there?
Is it stuck? Oh.
A couple $100.
What do we get for a couple $100?
The canners and stuff. I think you can find them at yard sales and stuff here.
I don't think you're supposed to do that. I think you're supposed to use
not the cans. Not the cans. You can reuse the cans. Rua says that you're supposed to use brand new jars every time, but I don't think you are. It was
from Gilbrook Farms Homestead. I could have swore.
Here tonight. Thanks, Micro Farmer. Glad you're here. Testing. Everything is everything still okay, everyone? Because it kind of froze here for a second on the screen.
That was weird. I thought, well, I'm not looking back. Huh.
Yeah. So you're supposed to reuse jars, because there's no point. You won't save because
maybe
the jars.
I'm gonna go look back at Gilbrook Farms.
Well, you're supposed to look at them, make sure there's not any cracks or anything in them, and I think you're supposed to, you can reuse the lid part, the screw-on part, but the actual lid that goes on there, you're not supposed to reuse those. It did jam up there for a second. Yeah, always use brand new steel. You can reuse jars and rings.
Okay, maybe that's what she was saying. I'll go back and watch the video that I watched.
Yeah.
And I'll show you the video.
We used to watch a lot of Gilbrook Farm before they started doing their off-grid build.
Now I'm watching anymore.
And, I think that's great what they're doing, by the way. And I don't have a problem with any of the homesteaders, any of the others. One time I said something apparently about off-grid with Doug and Stacy as though I didn't like them. I do like them.
I love off-grid with Doug.
I think they're great, In fact, I think they're having a live right now as well. And it was on, their Facebook page. I posted we're doing our live at the same time, but we'll take all your used jars. No, McGee, you can't have them. But I like them. They just, don't do the same things that we're doing, and they're at different spots and stuff like that. So
deal.
Jars for fresh rolls. Deal. Does anybody use any other type of jars, like pickle jars or things like that? Somebody told me that you can use those jars. They just don't recommend it. That people used to use those all the time. But I don't. Jake and Nicole.
Isn't that the?
Is that the one who's always she's naked on the screen all the time on her back? Jake and Nicole. There's one of them that's always out there, and the thumbnail is always a picture of her back, and her private parts are the other way. So you can show that. Let's see. Let's see. You can use pickle jars and water bath only from shops, just to use. Okay, I use Costco pasta jars. They're heavy duty mason jars. Yeah. So you can reuse some of those. I wouldn't ever reuse those, to be honest with you. But, I'd rather use the ball or the mason or something like that, those canning jars. But you can reuse those as long as they don't have any cracks or.
Maybe that's what she was saying. I don't know.
Went to Yukon, lived near Groton. Okay, well, that's between all of you all, I guess. I'll check out living off grid with Jake and Nicole. Use pickle jars just for pickles, etc. But Mason, they're so cheap. Yeah, are they cheap? I've actually not priced them recently. I think they've actually gone up because a lot of people are getting into that because of all the situation going on. So whenever I first started my channel, I didn't worry about saying those those key words, about certain virus and whatnot. I didn't worry about saying those because I wasn't monetized. But those videos now, since I've been monetized, they aren't monetized. If there's a few of them that say stuff like that, but I can't. Those aren't monetized, but it's all right. It's not a big deal at all. Dehydrating is done. We still want, and we will be getting one day, a Harvest Right freeze dryer, because I mean that's the plan. But you do things slowly, just do it as you can do it, but I really think things are blossoming here, and doing, we're getting done what we want to get done. It's actually happening for us. But you really do have to be patient. The freeze dryers take a lot of power, and we do have a dream of being off grid eventually, but we're still not there yet either. But again, it's just a slow process. All right, Little Feet Farm and Homestead, glad you're here. Thanks for coming. I know you got things to do. I've been there before too. Do you have to pickle all veggies or just put them in cans and seal it with hot water? You don't have to pickle them. You don't have to pickle them at all. In fact, if you pickle them and ferment them, some fermented things, you don't have to have sealed at all. You can they're shelf stable. Freeze dryers are better in some ways than dehydrators. You can dehydrate completely off grid, like putting some things out in the sun and letting them dehydrate. That way. Like that video I did about comfrey that I sent to a friend of mine. I dehydrated that just setting it in the sun. So you don't have to have any power to dehydrate, and you can dehydrate. This oven that's behind me is propane, liquid propane. It's got a dehydrate feature on it as well. But freeze dryers, they keep about 95%. They keep a huge percentage of the nutrition and nutrients in there, versus dehydrating doesn't. You lose some of that, is what I've read. So, I mean, I've not done any tests and studies myself, but they put that information out there so often that maybe it's true. Yeah, I've seen some of your dehydrating videos. It's really cool. Freeze drying is expensive. The freeze dryers are very expensive, but yeah,
one project at a time.
Yeah, but. Anyway, thanks, Priscilla. I really appreciate that. We have talked about some of that stuff before, about the things that are going on. But I feel like we're talking about it in a roundabout sort of way, just telling people to prepare and do the things that they need to do and, learn how to do these things. But, you don't have to mention that stuff. I think most people know that stuff's going on. Just let the kids fight.
Well, so we tried the phones out. They have phones, and so, but there's Abraham has taken one phone to himself, and so he won't share it.
He's our baby,
and yeah, we probably shouldn't have given him that. But that's okay. They're trying.
The dried fruit that you buy in the stores isn't the same as freeze drying, Deb, but. I think the reason that stuff that you get in the stores is so good is because a lot of times they add sugar to it. So I don't know. Have you tried whenever you freeze drying fruit, Deb, to put some sugar on it and stuff like that? Try that. I bet that would make a big difference. Or soak it in some sugar stuff before you actually freeze dry it. I bet that would make it a lot tastier.
The kids, I know they are. It's kind of nice, they get to learn about that stuff now because they are learning about conflict resolution.
They are.
I think they're failing at it right now.
So McGee, are you in your house right now? Are you able to watch from inside your house, or are you having to go down the road to watch what's going on? Yeah, they're learning about. I feel like our kids get to learn a lot of that. Rue and I parent a bit differently. When she's at home, the parenting is a bit different than when she's not at home. I kind of try to let them work out some things themselves and only break it up whenever it's in major fisticuffs. But you are up by the power lines. Did you hear that? And that, yeah, he's not a happy camper. It's getting dark here. I wanted to try to do some of our live streams outside. Have we already been to the longest day of the year? Was that the beginning of summer? Was that summer solstice? Do their apricots, their dehydrated apricots? I bet they put all sorts of sugars and sweetener and stuff. How are the goats since I removed their furry grapes? The goats had furry grapes. It's really interesting, Joe. That video immediately, as soon as I uploaded it, it got demonetized. But the pig castration video, I did that, and it's worse. It's way worse, I think, as far as graphic and whatnot. It's still being monetized. It's still fine. But they're all doing okay, no problems. Puffy has a little, I don't know if you heard in the video, he had a little spot. He was a little sick the other day and wasn't taking his bottle. I haven't heard anything. Yesterday, Nana and Papa were telling me that he was ill, but he did take the Nutri-Drench or something like that they gave him, and they gave him a shot of penicillin. Anyway, he seems to be doing better as of yesterday. I hadn't talked to him about it today, yeah, did I say Puffy? It was Puffy. And the pigs that I castrated, they're doing just fine. There was one of them, there were 4 that were born, and one of them kept going in circles and circles and circles right after it was born. I was sure it was going to die. It wasn't going to make it, but it's fine. They're all 4 very healthy and good. So, yeah, it must have been, something about the thumbnail or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, some of those, what kind of, was it the Del Monte? We used to get mango at Costco that really liked. Your wife is an ER nurse. Rua's been floated to ER before.
I don't mind ER.
You know what? I think that the goats were squealing more than anything, Joe, vintage vibes, because, they were being held. It's probably a little uncomfortable, and it's uncomfortable for a while, but it's just a little discomfort kind of thing, and the pigs probably were in a little bit of pain when it happened, but it's pigs. Apparently, somebody commented on one of my videos, I think it was on Facebook, that it's very, very dangerous to put pigs under anesthesia. Very, very dangerous. So it's a whole lot better to do it this way, So I don't know, but yeah, let's see. Learning on the run. Yeah, they probably don't like being on their back and restrained. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Yeah, the pigs were being operated on, and I'm surprised that one didn't get demonetized, and the goat one did. So I upload all my videos onto Facebook and to YouTube. So I'm trying to monetize on Facebook as well, but I've got to have like 10,000 followers. I mentioned that last week. But that one on the pig castration video on Facebook, it's gotten like 12,000 3-second views. They do it a little different than on YouTube. I'm not sure how the view counts on Facebook or on YouTube rather, but there's 3-second views, 15-second views, and then 1-minute views. And you've got to have so much in order to, monetize and stuff like that. But when you look on Facebook at the bottom, it tells you how many times it's been viewed. It's been viewed 12,500 times. Well, I don't think you'd ever get a skillet full on those little mini pigs. Somebody said something about waiting until the pigs, they were too little because you didn't get any. Wait until they were 60 or 70 pounds, and they'd have to be over a year old. I've got one barrow that I cut, and I bet he's only 40 or 50 pounds, and he's a little over a year old. Ralph was 110 pounds, and he seemed like a fat pig, and he was 2.5 years old whenever I did it, and he was a barrow too. Yeah, Facebook can be monetized as well.
We didn't know that until
somebody. I talked to a lady.
Ago.
Her channel is Dirt Patch Heaven. Her name is Julianne, and she encouraged me to do it that way because then you can get 2 streams of income. But I'll be honest. After I started putting my videos on Facebook and on YouTube, my YouTube views went way down. I wasn't getting quite as many of them because I was sharing all my content on Facebook and driving people to YouTube. And now I'm just keeping it all on Facebook. But
Steve Earle he is good. It's hard to take care of him. He doesn't want
I moved Steve Earle and his mama in with the other mini pigs that were on pasture, and then I couldn't catch him. And then I did catch him one day. I caught him in the doghouse over there, and I grabbed Steve Earle and I put him over here by himself, get him weaned and away from his mama. And one of the kids let him go, and he ran back over there to his mama. Yeah, and he was over there a couple days, and I caught him again. He's over here again, but he's a good pig. But I've got so many things going on. I can't spend a lot of time.
Him a pet. When we have 4 kids,
especially if I'm not going to keep him in the house all the time, and I really don't want to clean up pig poop and teach him to use the our cats come in the house, but they use the bathroom outside. We let them in and out. We don't even have a litter box. We don't clean up any animal mess in the house unless they have an accident or they're sick or something like that. But Steve Earle's fine. He's growing. He's good. I thought about bringing him in, but he don't,
He just don't like it.
Yeah,
He don't like it.
I was gonna teach him. I put on a little harness that was for our little dog. Put on a harness on him, but it wouldn't stay on him. Dogs are built different than pigs, so I've got to figure out how to get a harness.
We'd have to order a special pig harness.
I got to figure out how to. Well, I've not researched it at all. I want to try to teach him to lead. I've got a friend locally who has a pet pig and takes it to the store and all that stuff. Yeah. And takes it to the store and all that stuff. And, she has him on a harness and he does well.
I understand Angel. I don't have a Facebook account either.
Yeah, she uses my Facebook account.
I don't really ever get on there that much.
Yeah, she just gets on there to see what's going on.
And then get mad about something. I do. Then
if she feels like in the mood to get mad about somebody saying something, then she gets on Facebook.
I guess because I just feel like I'll start looking and then I'm like, oh, okay.
I talked to somebody else who's a follower on a channel, Chi-Town Mountain or something like that. She said she had a rabbit and she lived in town, and that she would take the rabbit on a walk with a leash. So people do weird things, I guess. A cat that used the toilet. I've heard you can teach them to do that, but we haven't at all. I'm not much of a cat trainer. I'm not really much of a dog trainer, but
you're a good dog trainer.
My dog does pretty well. I've worked at it. Yeah,
he's really good with dogs.
But I don't teach him to do a lot of tricks or anything. I just teach him to do the basic things. Sit and stay and come and all that stuff.
For reals.
Yeah, Facebook. I know you and I, McGee, we've talked about that before, but Facebook is a far meaner place
than YouTube.
Yeah,
I can't handle all the meanness.
Oh yeah, people are full of opinions there, and they're mean. And sometimes I've had the meanest comments at all. I don't really respond to them too much. What happens, and it's very, very fascinating on Facebook and elsewhere too, is when somebody's mean to you, if you don't say anything, then somebody else will come to your rescue and defend you.
That's why I like that best in real life. Just don't say anything.
Yeah, just don't say anything at all. We're Christians, and whether you are or aren't, that's not a big deal. But we love you no matter what. But we believe that the Lord is our defender. We don't. There's a song that says that here we are, but straying pilgrims, but the Lord is my defender, and the song. Onward over the rolling river.
I'll spare you my singing.
Yeah, I respond to it sometimes, but most of the time I try not to say anything at all. But every now and then I'm a little bit of a smart aleck. Very rarely, but not often.
What was it? Somebody said something about the pig.
Somebody said, "How would you like it if somebody did this to you about castrating the pig?" And I said, "Probably the same. I liked it the same. I would like it the same as if somebody made me a pet or ate me." You like that? Lovely Elvis voice. Oh, oh. That's funny. Yeah. Here's Benji. Say hi, Benj.
Hi, I'm always supposed to be out here.
So, anyway, like we said, I know. I I don't know exactly, what always to say. Since I publish a video every single day, you're kind of getting the things that we're doing. There's a whole lot of other things that I can't record every time, and some things that I'm doing the same that I've done in the past. I did some cleaning up over here around our blueberries yesterday and the day before, but the blueberries weren't thriving quite as well as I wanted them to, so I cleaned up around them. And I told you I like to let things go wild, but it was a little too wild for me. So anyway, y'all have anything? Any questions for us? And maybe you've probably already done that. You definitely broke my heart.
I'll tell him. He's already gone back there.
They've said, McGee, they've said a few times, they said, next time we're going. Next time we're going to go. We're going to go down there. So they said they're going to come next time. Yeah, I think, it's hard not to be sarcastic sometimes with it. I don't know why they call them blueberries. They said they're more purple.
I'll Google that too.
Yeah.
I'll Google it when I get off. Why are they called blueberries?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to look it up.
Maybe because they're blue at a certain point, or, these are hybrids. I don't know. It seems like a lot of people's are. A lot of people, should have red tomatoes now, it seems like around here. But,
I like the yellow tomatoes.
I'm not seeing a lot of people. Our neighbor has some tomatoes that they grow and sell. And I've looked over there, and they've got a stand that they sell them. We're going to get all the culls, most of the culls. But strawberries don't look like straw. Maybe because they grow in straw. I don't know. But anyway, their tomatoes don't look like they're red, and they haven't grown anything yet either.
Because, hey, it was, hold on, berries contain, well, I don't want to read that. They're blueberries because their deep purple color was considered blue in medieval times. So they're really purple berries.
It's because those medieval peasants don't know blue from purple.
So I guess that was their blue.
Uneducated serfs.
No, that was their purple, but it was considered blue. Huh.
Have you heard about the sky being blue and stuff? There's some, there's some information about that. Why do we consider the sky blue? Ancients used to think that, like in Genesis, that the sky was a big firmament, that there was water up above. That's why, separate the waters above and the waters below and so on and so forth. So they used to think that there was this big, big firmament, this big, thing that was holding the water back from the sky. All right, we're gonna go. Thank you for purple was only for high class liking. Yes,
that's true.
Yeah, maybe that's why they couldn't do it purple, because they weren't allowed to do purple.
That makes sense.
I read something.
Blue.
We watched the video.
Oh, that makes sense.
And maybe it's because when you get them on your stuff, it turns more blue on your clothes.
The purple because the royal makes more sense.
Yeah. All right, well, we're getting out of here. We love you guys. We keep doing this. If you have any questions or comments or whatever else, then anytime, and come back set a timer for 8:00 on Sunday nights, 8:00 Central Time, so you can be here.
Y'all have a good night.
All right, bye.